Welcome to Advanced Vedic Mathematics course. Today in week 11 as first lesson 78, we shall be focusing upon the Vedic Ganita Sutras processing base. It is glimpse of this base, it is comprehension of this base that we shall be having a proper formatted inflow within the Vedic Ganita Sutras mathematics, and this mathematics as such has a processing base which is manifesting as a format. So it is processing base format which is to be comprehended, and once it stands comprehended and imbibed, then we can work out different mathematical applications. We have to proceed sutra wise. Sutra 1, Ekadhikena Purve, one more than before, is giving rise to a processing step that we have a value and then we have the next value, and like that we should proceed. This is the processing which may be taken as a milestones of a road or points on a line, and this line as such may or may not be straight, because what depends is the placement, say first placement, second placement, third placement. It has nothing to do with the gaps as such. This that way gives us a processing base in Vedic system. We begin with Om Iti Ekakshar Brahm. It is this which settles the format of a reach with one and going up till the eternity. It is this feature which makes the format processing base as can be depicted like this: a path, a format upon which there are milestones, and these milestones are sequentially placements, and these sequential placements or steps or milestones or working steps that way manifest a processing format. It can be said that Sutra 1 has a processing format which may be depicted or which may be expressed like this, or in other words, having a line upon which there is to be sequential placements, and it is this sequential placements which comes to be one after the other, and it is this processing one after the other is the processing which makes a format one after the other. This is like fixing the roll numbers, or this is like having milestones along a line, or this is like making a queue, or this is like having a numbering for the house, or having roll numbers, or otherwise having a chase of a age of an individual, or we can have a graph of the progress of the working laborers and all that. What is emerging is that we will draw a table in which First we will write a sutra number and then we will draw a processing base. It is this format along which we can say that we are having the applications of Ganita Sutra 1. It is this sequential placement which is called a sequential progression. We can have one step after the other. We can make milestone after the milestone. We can attach the roll numbers. We can attach the house numbers. We can make a queue and we can number them. And like that, so it is a one step after the other. One step followed by another step. It is this is which makes a processing base format. So Sutra 1 is having this format which accepts placements of points after the points, and it is this sequential placements which makes the working rule, which makes the processing base of Sutra 1. Now see our table Sutra 1 and we have this processing base. This processing base could be as long as we like. There is no limit to it. So it is here where the caution is to be taken that this line or this process or this road may be as big as it can be, and we can have milestones for the entire line, one after the other. It is Ganita Sutra 1. It is called a processing base working methods format of Ganita Sutra 1. Now let us proceed ahead and see how the Sutra 2 will provide us the base. The Sutra 2 is Nikhilam Navastha Charamam Dashatha. Here are 7 letters, here are 14 letters, and here are 7 letters. These that way make 7 into 1, 7 into 2, and 7 into 1. So it is of the format of 1, 2, and 1. It takes us to line, plane, and line. That means while as far as the Sutra 1 was concerned, we were progressing only along one side. But here the processing could be from both ends for a reach for the middle. So the processing step for the second sutra is that our original format which we had settled at Sutra 1, it was taking a progression towards one direction only. However, Sutra 2 gives us that this processing of line can be along both the orientations. So the progress from here to here is, or difference from here to here is that while in the first case we are only progressing towards one orientation, but here the processing can be from both ends. And that means we will be having a reach at the middle. So to have a reach at the middle, we can approach it from both ends. But as far as the first is concerned, it simply says that we can start from anywhere, but we can progress only towards one direction. Therefore, this table of processing steps has progressed. Table is progressing. First is taking us only on one direction. Sutra 2 gives us a format that we can approach from both ends. We will reach here at the middle. This is reaching at the middle. Here illustratively will help us that if we have the numbers say 1, 2, 3, and say we reach up till say 4, then on opposite directions it would be like this. And see, if we sum up these all, these will make 16. That is a 4 square. So this format indicates that if we are at one particular middle point, say at value 4, then we can approach it from both ends, and it will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. It will be 3, 2, and 1. Numbers will be 16, that is 4 square value. Like that, if we are having here, say middle, if we are having 5, if we proceed from both ends, then it will make it 25, a 5 square. This will give us an insight as to how the processing base is ultimately to be availed by us. Now see, our table for Sutra 1 is that we can proceed from here and we can go on progressing on inside. If we are starting with n, it will take to n plus 1, n plus 2, and so on. Sutra 2 says that if we want to reach a particular point, we can approach it from both ends. And if it is n, and then this number will take us to n square. So it is going to be a format like this. Now Sutra 3. Sutra 3 says, Udharva Tiryag Bhyam. Udharva Tiryag Bhyam, which literally means upward and crosswise. So see, we are having approach like this, or we are having approach from both ends and we reach at the middle. Now we can approach upward, straight as well as the diagonal wise. So the format for first is this, format for second is going to be a plane at the middle, and now we will be having a rise upward of a plane which can go towards a diagonal or it can go upward. This is simple a line. Here is a square at the middle, surface at the middle, and in third case it is going to be a vertical plane, and for this vertical plane we can proceed like this or we can proceed also like this in a diagonal. So it is in fact the space. So in a space, when we draw a line, simply drawing line, it can be of at any angle if we have a baseline. So if we don't have a baseline, then we can say we are having two way to approach so that we can fix the line or that we can reach at an angle. The format as it is progressing. It is starting from a point and progressing any number of steps, or if we want to reach any point, we can progress it from both ends. And now it is that if we want to proceed in a space, then we can have a fixation of the base, and once base is fixed, we can fix a vertical plane, and in a vertical plane we can reach the points this way. It can be any point, it will make an angle here. So it is the fixation of the points in a space, the third step. The fourth sutra is Pravartya Yojet. This Pravartya Yojet is the space which is to be worked. Sutra 1 takes us like this. Sutra 2 takes us like this at the middle. Sutra 3 takes us at the vertical plane along this horizontal plane. And now Sutra 4 is first, second, and third. Fourth is Pravartya Yojet. Pravartya Yojet. This means transpose and unite. This transpose and unite means when we were at the third sutra in a vertical plane then we can now reverse the orientation. Instead of upward plane, it will be downward plane, and its format would be like this. It is here that we also have to pause, as number 1, 2, and 3 are non-composite numbers. That means they don't have divisors. But as far as the number 4 is concerned, it is of the organization 2 plus 2, and it is also of 2 cross 2, and still it is also equal to minus 2 cross minus 2, and still further 2 raised to power 4 is equal to 4 raised to power 2. That means there is a vertical pairing as well. It is this addition and multiplication superimposed, orientation change also getting superimposed, and then there is a vertical reflection pairing. Mirror pairing is like making an object an image, and if it is going to be a vertical pairing, then it is uniquely different. It is this pairing, vertical pairing, which is also a reflection of orientations. This is the orientation, and here is the another orientation. We are going from 2 to 4, then we are going 4 to 2. It is this feature which is inherently adding the reach, and it is a reach. These are non-composite numbers, and here we are reaching at a composite number. It is really a very big step of the processing base of the Vedic mathematics. We have to make a detailed note that the processing base of Sutra 1 is a progression only along one orientation. Processing 2 is there can be orientation. Both orientations are from both ends. We can reach the middle. And the Sutra 3 says that we from base we can reach a vertical space, and it could be as side and then along a diagonal. It is this going in a space with the help of pair of lines and making it an angle, so it will be maybe a reference line and it may be another location line, or these are like two arms of an angle. It is this, these are two arms. So it is with the help of two arms that we are entering a vertical space. But when we are at 4, next step, then the processing step is that if we are having a base, then we can move on both orientation, upward or it is downward. It is called udharv and it is called adh. In a way, now we say that there are within a 3 space, there are 10 directions, and of these 10 directions, the 8 directions are at the plane itself, at the base itself, while 9th and 10th directions are upward and downwards. Therefore, it is up at 3rd we are reaching 9th, and here at the 10th direction. One may have a pause here and take note that that number 4 is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 4 times, while 10 is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So it is a fine counting and it is in a progressive counting. It is this way that in both cases steps are 4. There are only 4 steps. Here at each step we are having 1 as a value, but in next case we are having this 1, 2, 3 and 4, this progressive. So the processing format of Sutra 4 Here we will reach at equations. That means we will be reaching at algebra. And up till here, we will be having arithmetic. So arithmetic and then a further arithmetic as algebra. Now, after this, the fifth sutra is taking us to, so Sutra 1, Sutra 2 is taking us to this space, Sutra 3 is taking us to a vertical plane, and Sutra 4 is taking us to a lower plane, downward plane. These are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now Sutra 5. See, we have reached from one space. Here we are having two space. Here we are having three space. And then it is a four space. Now, within a four space, we are going to have a further progression. Now see how we will reach at the center, which is going to be a space 5. The Sutra 5 is Shunyam, Samya, Samuchya. Shunya word is of TC value 18, and 18 is equal to 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. It takes us to hypercube 5, and hypercube 5 is playing the role of an origin of a four space. Therefore, now we are entering a space for its center as of a zero value. See, we are having two parts of it. This is upward, here is going to be downward. And here we had a base plane. Base plane has value 2. And this here we have hypercube 5. It is of value 18, which is parallel with a shunyam. So here we are having 0. Now 0 and 2 are the dimension and domain. Initially, we had begun with the line, then we have reached at a plane, then we had reached at a solid 3 space, and it had given us 10 directions, and from 10th directions we are now, so one space as dimension of a 3 space is giving us 10 directions, and now at Sutra 5 we are reaching at plane as a dimension and 4 space. We are entering here in this way, but for it let us have a revisit to the way the position is there within a 5 space placement. So here is a 4 space, it is a transcendental origin, and its dimensional frame is solid, which gives us value 15. This is the TC value of a guru. That means the heaviest thing which attracts. It is going to be a tej. And it is this which is attracting, and so reducing the things to a zero. We will coming to these features afterwards. But for the present, we can see that there is a plane, and this plane is working within 4 space for retention of transcendental origin. It is here we are reaching at value 0. So to have a value 0, that means if we are at the baseline and if we rise upward with a particular force for a particular weight of a pebble, to be thrown upward, and say it reaches up till this. Now if there is another throw with equal force and for equal weight, then this point also will reach at the equal height. So it is this height which is maintained by for the equal forces for throw of the equal weights and reach is equal. This is Shunyam. So the format of the fifth sutra is that when from the baseline we have a throw upward for a reach up till height say h1 for the pebble of weight 8, then here the throw force upward will become 0. And this will that way for equal weights with equal throw upward from the same baseline would reach at the same vertical line. This would be a 0 line, Shunyam. Now see the sutra, what sutra says. Sutra says Shunyam, then Samya, Samuchay. Samya is a parallel. Its value is 16. It is equal to 2 raised to power 4. It is equal to the dimensional frame of a 4 space. So within a 4 space, when from the baseline, say, of the plane as a format for the seat of the transcendental origin. So if we will be having a throw from here, then it will have a reach up to a particular point, and the energy with which it is going or work which is being done by a particular force for throw of a particular weight having a reach up to a particular height. And it is here that the upward momentum, the motion of a pebble will become 0 and it will stop and it will reach point. This that way is going to be the processing format of Sutra 5. Let us recapitulate that our table is progressing, and it progresses at Sutra 1, we are progressing along a line. At Sutra 2, we are progressing from reach at a middle from both ends. At next step, we are having a reach from the base to the space in a vertical plane, which can be of 2 directions. At Sutra 4, we can have inversion for this. We will here going downward along the pair of directions. And it is a Sutra 5 which has taken us to a 4 space, and when there is going to be a throw at the baseline, this is at origin, it is a guru, it is an attraction, gravitational attraction will be there, and it is this gravitational attraction which from here will take it upward, and from here it would be a downward. It is here that we see that 4 space is of a spatial order. There are orientations upwards and downwards, and it is this phenomenon which will take us to Sutra 6 also, which within bracket is having 7 letters, Anurupe, and then Shunyam Anyat. This is this Anyat. This is this sutra which tells us that in a space, if we are throwing upward, then all pebbles of equal weight thrown upward with equal force will have a reach at a common vertical line. But same way, if we throw along a particular direction and all throws like this as well, will reach at a particular diagonal line. So it is this format. Within a 4 space, there can be a throw. It can be throw vertical or it can be throw along a particular direction. So it is this pair of throws. So the pair of sutras, Sutra 5 and Sutra 6. One may have a pause here and see that the step ahead at Sutra 7, it is Sankalan, Vyayavakalan, Bhyam. And this will be, then we've seen that if there is a beaker full of a water and water flowing down